How Wasim Akram overcame medical issues to become the Sultan of Swing. Wasim Akram played cricket with a sense of urgency, as if he knew that his time in the game was limited. Akram voluntarily retired from cricket once, renounced his retirement and came back, and then was forced to retire on several other occasions. He had been sacked as captain and cricketer more times than most players. He was even accused of match fixing, one of the most serious offences in cricket, but was cleared of the charges. Akram has had a long and illustrious career, but it had also been marred by injuries and infirmities. He had suffered from a wide range of ailments, including groin injuries, intercostal muscle tears, shoulder problems, pelvic bone fractures, hernias, appendicitis, and diabetes. These injuries have taken a toll on his body, and he has had to undergo numerous surgeries. Akram's family business was in spare parts, so he could have used a few himself over the years. Despite all these injuries and illnesses, Akram continued to play cricket at the most highest level possible. Akram's career has been full of ups and downs, but he had always been one of the most innovative and talented bowlers in the world. He is the most accomplished practitioner of reverse swing, a technique that was only formally acknowledged in the 1990s. Reverse swing is a bowling technique that causes the ball to swing in the opposite direction of its natural swing, making it very difficult for batsmen to play. Reverse swing is achieved by creating a difference in the smoothness of the two sides of the ball. The side that is not polished will be rougher, and this will cause the air to flow over it differently, creating a force that causes the ball to swing in the opposite direction. Reverse swing is a difficult technique to master, and it requires dry conditions and high speeds. It is also more effective against batsmen who are not expecting it. The reverse swing is a subversive technique. This is because it goes against the intuition of most bowlers and batsmen. Bowlers typically try to keep the ball as shiny as possible, in order to make it swing more. However, for reverse swing to work, the ball needs to be rough on one side. Batsmen also typically expect the ball to swing away from them, so they are not prepared for it to swing in. The reverse swing is akin to the googly, a type of delivery that spins in the opposite direction to a bowler's natural spin. The googly was invented in the 19th century, and it is still one of the most effective deliveries in cricket. Like reverse swing, the googly is an unsettling delivery that goes against the intuition of most bowlers and batsmen. Reverse swing has permanently changed the way Test cricket is played. It has given fast bowlers with the old ball a new lease of life, and it has encouraged them to bowl at a fuller length than they did in the past. This has made it much more difficult for tailenders to bat, as they are now exposed to the late swing that is caused by reverse swing. 30 years ago, it seemed that tail-end batting would improve in the long term, as professional cricketers would have more opportunities to practice their secondary skills and protective gear would improve. However, helmets do not protect batsmen from late swinging deliveries that are speared at the crease line. Akram is one of the bowlers who is most synonymous with reverse swing. Berry believes that reverse swing has been a decisive factor in reducing the proportion of test matches drawn since 1990. He argues that reverse swing has made it more difficult for tailenders to bat, and this has led to more teams being able to bowl them out and win matches. There is some evidence to support Berry's theory. For example, Wasim Akram, one of the most successful reverse swing bowlers, took a higher proportion of his wickets bowled or LBW than any other fast bowler in the last 30 years. This suggests that reverse swing was a major factor in his success. However, it is difficult to say definitively whether reverse swing has been the decisive factor in reducing the number of drawn test matches. There are other factors that could have contributed to this trend, such as the introduction of the decision review system, DRS. Overall, Berry's theory is persuasive, but it is hard to test definitively. More research is needed to determine the exact impact of reverse swing on test cricket. Akram was a very effective bowler who took a high proportion of his wickets bowled or LBW. This was a higher proportion than any other fast bowler in the last 30 years, with the exception of his great rival Waqar Younis. Akram's ability to get batsmen out-bowled or LBW was due to several factors. He was a very accurate bowler who could bowl the ball in the right areas. He also had a very good Yorker, which was very difficult for batsmen to play. Additionally, Akram was very good at getting the ball to swing, which made life hard for the batsman. The fact that Akram was able to get so many batsmen out-bowled or LBW is even more impressive considering that he was a left-arm bowler. Left-arm bowlers typically have a harder time getting batsmen out LBW, as umpires are less likely to give them the benefit of the doubt. Curtly Ambrose and Courtney Walsh obtained only a third of their wickets without the aid of a fieldsman or keeper, while Dennis Lillee, Richard Hadlee, and Malcolm Marshall obtained 31%, 40%, and 40%, respectively. It is worth noting that the comparison of Akram's percentage of wickets taken LBW to other fast bowlers from an earlier generation, when the rules of giving LBW were looser, is astonishing. Akram's bowling action was not designed with reverse swing in mind, but it proved to be ideal for this technique. His fast arm and firm wrist imparted the necessary pace, and his 17-pace approach allowed him to sustain the effort involved in maintaining a consistently full length. This combination of factors made it difficult for batsmen to pick up Akram's deliveries, and he was able to get the ball to swing both ways. In addition to his ability to reverse swing the ball, Akram was also very good at varying his angles. He was able to bowl from both over and round the wicket, and he was able to use his variations to keep batsmen guessing. No left-arm pace bowler since Sir Garfield Sobers has varied his angles as resourcefully, and not even Sobers was as skillful from round the wicket. Akram's bowling action was a major factor in his success. It allowed him to generate pace, swing the ball, and vary his angles. This made him a very difficult bowler to face. Akram's action is unorthodox, but it is incredibly effective. Akram's action is not what most coaches would teach. They would typically teach bowlers to have a balanced run-up and a smooth, graceful action. However, Akram's action is anything but balanced or graceful. He bowls with a very short run-up and a very fast arm speed. He also has a very unusual release point, with his arm pointing down the pitch and his back foot pointing towards the sight screen. This unorthodox action would seem to be very difficult to repeat, but amazingly, Akram has been able to do it for over 41,000 deliveries in international cricket. This is an incredible feat of endurance and skill. Akram was able to play international cricket for over 20 years, and he was still bowling at a high level in his late 30s. This is a testament of his love for the game, but this love for the game came with a high price. Akram's career was marked by injuries, particularly to his groin and shoulder. He had to undergo surgery on his groin twice, in 1988 and 1990. The second operation was more complicated, as an adductor muscle separated from his pelvis, leaving his left leg only half as strong as his right. He had to undergo intensive physiotherapy to restore his strength. Akram first experienced shoulder pain in 1990, while he was playing for Lancashire. He delayed surgery, but he eventually broke down when he tried to bowl a bouncer in the Singer Cup final in Sharjah in 1997. He had to undergo further surgery, and he was forced to take a 6-month break from cricket. In the past, a single serious injury could end a cricketer's career. However, thanks to advances in medical science, cricketers are now able to recover from injuries and continue playing. For example, Dennis Compton, Richie Benaud, and Dennis Lillee all recovered from serious injuries and went on to have successful careers. Compton suffered a knee injury in 1955 that was initially thought to be career-ending. However, he was able to make a full recovery and went on to have a long and successful career. Benno suffered a shoulder injury in 1963 that almost forced him to retire. Nonetheless, he also fully recovered and went on to become one of the most successful captains in cricket history. Lillee suffered a back injury in 1974 that at first seemed to end his career. He overcame his injury and went on to become one of the greatest fast bowlers. Despite his injuries, Akram was able to continue his career and he ultimately took 414 wickets in Test cricket and 502 wickets in ODI cricket.